テレ東ビズ。
So about the safety rules, I have helmets and glasses for you. These are for protection because they are using the blank ammunition and vehicles are driving back and forth. So if rocks will fly, then they won't hurt you. So if it's okay, then let's jump into the cars and go.
時折こう道端にそこにもいました。ちょっとこう戦車、に草をつけて、擬態というんでしょうか、森の中でこう一見わからないような形にして潜んでいるという、これすでにもう訓練始まっているということですね。キャタピラーだからやっぱ戦車なんですね。これは装甲輸送車じゃなくて本当に。すごいですね。本格的。NATO の今軍事演習の会場です。今回森の中で行われるということで、実際に森の戦闘を想定しているということなんですが、ここも見えますかね、木の間にあそこにもう戦車が待機してるんですね。一見ちょっとですね、緑なのでわからないような場所にいます。はい。So it is a Britain car, Britain tank.
Yeah. So it's called a Warrior.
So how many people? How many operators in there?
You can get, I think, about 8 people inside.
8 people.
Yeah.
8.
But they're in the back.
In the back,
So it's used to transport troops.
They
have the weapon.
Yeah. こちらの目の前の低いところにいる方がドライバーで、この中とか8人乗っているという形みたいです。でこれはイギリスの軍の、タンクですね。多分中取っちゃダメなんじゃないですか。中はここ我々見えるんですけど、中は取っちゃダメということで、一応やっぱり軍事秘密ということですね。多分私もよく取材するときに軍隊の取材するとき言われるんですけども、例えばドアの厚さ、壁の厚さ、材質だけでもどんな攻撃が効きやすいかというのが分かってしまうので、おそらくそういう理由ですね。はい、あと中のデザインというか間取りというかどういう配置になっているかでどこを狙いやすいかというのもバレてしまうので、基本的には中は取っちゃいけないという。ちょうど雪が溶けてぬかるんだ道で高低差の凸凹したところを進んでいってます。エストニアならではの地形ですね。
So the training what we are conducting now is extremely important, just to make us ready
to conduct the military operations if time comes and there is some sort of military aggression against not only Estonia but also against any Baltic states. So the training plays the crucial role that we will be able to succeed in our mission as we foresee it.
So what kind of enemy do you assume in this training?
This training is built on a conventional enemy. It's not a secret that Russia has been the main military threat for Estonia, and all scenarios what we are building up is built on understanding how the Russian military will operate if they conduct a military operation against Estonia.
こちらのエリアですね、もうロシアとの国境に近い、大体100キロぐらい先に進んだらもうロシアとの国境があるエリアで、 NATO のこういう軍事演習だったり、軍事基地ベースとしてもかなりロシアに近い、まさに最前線の一つと言っていい場所です。エストニアだとですね、もう本当に国境を接していることから、普段からこういった軍事演習が行われているということで、今実際に NATO の方ではもうエストニアも含めバルト海から黒海の方までそれぞれのエリアに派兵をしていてですね、こう本当に防波堤のような形で対ロシアの布陣を引いているという形になっています。はい、今回のも、普段ですとですね、例えば自衛隊の軍事演習だと、中国だったり、例えばロシア、東側ですねのロシアと対峙しているようなエリアでもですね、自衛隊の軍事演習している時に自衛隊の方に聞いてもですね、敵国の想定みたいなのは、特定の敵を指さないことが多いんですけども、今回のケースですとですね、先ほどこの軍事演習に参加しているエストニア軍の、軍の方に聞いてみると、はっきりとロシアへの警戒を強めている、そのための軍事演習だという話をしていました。この辺りがですね、もう本当に目の前に差し迫っている、本当に現実としてあり得る危機として捉えているか、あるいはあくまで想定される危機で、エスカレーションさせないためにも言わないっていう自衛隊のスタンスとまたかなり違うなというのが感じられました。
Yes.
So, is it okay to interview you?
Yes.
So we are Japanese TV
Oh,
Tokyo
okay.
film crew. So could you explain the presence of French military in this battle group? So
French is here because we are part of the member of the alliance and NATO, and we want to be to participate to the defense at the flank, east flank of Europe. The Estonian people are a little bit afraid, so the EFP, we decided that the EFP is to continue this mission and to well adapt. After the war of Ukraine, to well adapt this mission, to be sure that everything it's done.
you're from Denmark.
I'm from Denmark.
Okay.
I think Putin was trying to disorganize NATO and disorganize the European Union, the EU, and that was one of his goals by attacking Ukraine. He has achieved the exact opposite. The EU is more united than ever. NATO is more united than ever. NATO has, in a very, very short time, showed that it can actually stand up a lot of soldiers, a lot of troops, a lot of equipment, airplanes, ships, everything needed to put in place and do a huge difference. It's a deterrence of Russia, but I'm sure that deterrence is working very, very well.
So Estonia is very important. So Estonia is a northern Baltic country. It sits, it shares a border with Russia, and also it sits at the sort of mouth of the Gulf of Finland as well, which is an important shipping route as well. So Estonia is very important. But at the moment, you've just seen some recent uplifts and strengthening of NATO forces within Estonia, just to make sure that we do have those defensive capabilities and that we're able to defend in Estonia and across the alliance.
So are you prepared for the worst case?
So we always train to make sure that we are able to defend and defend quickly. So all our exercises are designed to enable us to work alongside the Estonians and the French and the Danish to make sure that we have, we are always prepared to deal with whatever aggression comes our way.
Yeah, the first question is about the threat by Russia. So how big is the threat by Russian troops and Russian government for Estonian people and Estonian government?
Yeah. Well, we need to look at this in two timescales. The imminent timescale is that the threat level is very low, especially because Russia has moved most of the forces that are stationed on the Estonian border to fight in Ukraine. So this gives us confidence to say that in imminent time term, the threat level is very low. But in longer term, the threat picture has never been as serious. Well, clearly we come to this conclusion because what they are conducting in Ukraine, but also the demands that they have put forward for NATO and for Western allies, where they have been extremely clear. Their intent is to basically restore the Soviet Union, dismantle NATO, and to destruct the collective defense umbrella under mainly Eastern nations. And we take this threat very seriously.
So is NATO enough to counteract for that, so protect for the people?
Mm-hmm. NATO is the cornerstone of our defense. It is very important for Estonia, and it's up for its tasks. The way we feel, the current force posture of NATO on eastern border is not enough. But luckily, NATO is working hard to get this on the sufficient level. And the heads of state and government have just a few weeks ago set the tasking for Madrid summit that there needs to be proposals at the table how to ramp this up on the sufficient level.
NATO members, so how important is the presence of NATO for the small countries?
It's extremely important. It's the cornerstone of our defense. It's the cornerstone of NATO's defense, because NATO is not only defending Estonia here. NATO is defending the values that the alliance has stood for 70 years: freedom, democracy, the freedom of speech, free maneuverability, economic growth, and so forth that we enjoy every day.
Hello. Okay, so we are covering the situation about the Ukrainian crisis. So
well, when the war started, I really felt that, oh my God, now it comes to here also. But right now I'm a bit calmer and I don't worry so much. And well, I really hope that it will not happen, but we'll see. I think that if the Ukraine stands till the end and wins the war, then we are safe, but if not, then there are a possibility.
See reaalne oht on jaa. Kuidas seal läheb, sellest oleneb meie tulevik ja terve Lääne-Euroopa tulevik üldiselt ka.
If Russia should or maybe attacks in Estonia, of course the current forces here are not enough.
CCDCOE ミリタリー？そうじゃだね、あれね。There is a cyber defense base of NATO, so in Estonia. Mm-hmm. So could you explain the situation of the cyber defense department? How is the relationship between them, and so how is their preparation for the cyber attack in Estonia?
Cyber Defense Center of Excellence, it's a center of excellence. It's basically a think tank or a research organization. It's not, I'd say, operational unit that should deal with current problems. The current issues are dealt by Information System Authority of Estonia and CERT, the Computer Emergency Response Team that is subordinated to them. Plus, of course, additionally, the police authorities, they are dealing with cybercrimes. Currently, it's very common that everybody knows what the cyber attacks are and that they do occur. But prior to 2007, it was something like science fiction, that IT people who were thinking about it, they were told that, well, you should deal with issues in the real world, like that I could print or that there would be faster internet or such kind of things. Not to deal with some science fiction that might even never happen. So of course, 2007 it changed a lot in public perception, also in perception of the officials and all the people.
Six schemes or in Estonia, and there is a lot of.
You cannot really just go. So in Estonia, because everybody has an electronic ID, we can identify ourselves online safely and access all the services digitally as well. So you would get an e-residency kit. So you see that it has a chip here. It's the same that our every ID card has, and you get PIN number 1, PIN number 2, and then you can. This computer has a possibility to. So do it like this. Most computers don't have the option, so you would have to buy the ID card reader. And once it's done, you can put in your PIN, and you've identified yourself, and you have access to our digital services. And now you can create a company in Estonia without actually being here. So in Estonia, we try to mitigate the threats as much as possible, because whatever could happen, a cyber attack, even a natural catastrophe could happen. And that's why we have those cornerstones in place. So for example, I can access services safely thanks to my electronic ID. The X-Road makes it sure that we have this interoperability, but we don't have all the data in one place. So that means that if somebody manages to hack into one system, they only have access to that system and nothing else. Because in 2007, we received a very intense attack towards our nation. Both public and private sector entities were targeted, and that made us think about it already in 2007.